Buenos dias, good morning. This is Andrew coming at you with day 4 of my vlogging experience here in Guatemala, Lake Atilan. I am back after what I would consider probably my roughest day of class yet. But let me first stay positive and talk a little bit about some of the wins that I had, and I'll get to the tough part there at the end. So one of the best parts today for me was learning about a new app. So there's an app that I've been using, recommended by my Spanish teacher for flashcards. Essentially, one of my tasks is to learn between 30 to 50 new verbs, and those verbs will help me with being able to communicate a lot more clearly. So use those 4 primary ones that we talked about, but then add these other ones on top. That has been really good, and I also love this app because it works offline, so that's been really helpful to be using. Now, as I think about the other parts of the day that were really good, there was also a good chunk of time that we spent working on questions like can I, may I, so using puedo, as well as can you, puedes, and then probably most importantly is the literal translation is can you give me, puedes dar me, and that's perfect for restaurant settings, and I even joked with my Spanish teacher that I have no excuse now. I can always order a coffee or food, so I have no excuses now to go hungry in Guatemala. So those were great. Now, as for the difficult part of yesterday, it had to do with starting all of this verbal communication. Now, it requires a ton of listening, where you're listening not only for the verb, but would be one of the 4 primary, as well as the infinitive, which is more of the action, to know what it's about, but then you are also listening to the endings, where you're trying to understand, is it first, second, or third person? Is it singular? Is it plural? Because based on what you're being asked, sometimes you have to respond in a different person, sometimes you're responding in the same person, and then add on top of that, with all of these new verbs, trying to figure out how to say them properly as well. Now, in my notes, I've got some poor man's pronunciations. So anyways, I'm not going to show you those notes because it's pretty embarrassing, but it literally is just phonetically sounding out some of these Spanish words. So there's going to be a lot more of this with my next lesson. I am expecting this to be a tough process with lots of frustration, but I know I'm only a few lessons in. So anyways, that's my update for today, and I'm expecting a lot more verbal with my upcoming lesson, so stay tuned. Hopefully it gets easier.